There's the whistle. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. It's a great gallop down the right-hand side. Now, what about this cross? That needed to be better, and he knows it.
Well, this is simple. The supply is to be admired. The defending is to be admonished.
Surely now! Oh, split-second reaction.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played. That's good pressing, it's really squeezing everything. Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
That's put paid to the danger. It's a promising position. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. But it has been just one side doing all of the early probing.
Well, they've made all the inroads and their confidence is taking on a growth spurt.
He has a look up. Now the cross. Deflected behind for a corner kick. Cleared away. Flings in a... Oh, great leap! And he's done it! It was wonderfully efficient.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball. Made a classic move and met it perfectly.
After 16 minutes is number 10.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I'd remind those players, Peter, that concentration will be key for a while now, as you don't want to hand the momentum straight back to your opposition.
Good pressure, determined, intense. Has a look and plays it forward. So what can they make of this?
Kuching City are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Played out towards the right wing. It's a good-looking delivery. Tries to get it clear.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
That is headed for the middle, and it's safely in the keeper's hands.
Well, they're clearly focusing on that right side, Peter. That's where the crosses are coming from, where the danger lies. Look, it's the width that's providing this momentum, and they look set to further exploit. Gives the defence a decision to make, whether to go zonal or man-to-man now.
Ball in towards the... Terrific effort! And the header is disappointing in the end.
Well, that's a move which shouldn't be allowed to repeat. A dribble, cross and attempt, all too easy.
Goes looking wide. Played out wide. Crosses it in. Bullish header! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
Well, the manager clearly has to react to this and tactically change what's happening. It's too easy for them to get in. OK, being behind at the break isn't ideal, but there's plenty of time to reply.
Quick look, thought about cutting inside. That looks a good cross. And it's claimed by the keeper. Tries to pass it through. Oh, that's nice. In it comes. There's the header! No, couldn't quite control it.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Rashid. Nicely weighted ball.
There will be 1 minute added time.
And that is the end of the first half. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break.
And a quick reminder today,
Kuching
everybody,
City
to
trailing
make sure
by
to put
the
any
tightest
litter
of
in the
margins
bins
at
provided.
half-time.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Well, obviously things are not good, Peter. It seems the team were just a bit too busy playing within themselves, too tentative. They have to improve and make it fast.
Well, that just about sorts out the first 45 minutes, and we'll be back with the second very soon. That gets us going once more.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Rashid. Gently done. And he was quick to react. Now, can they get him away? Flashes it across. Well, that pass isn't the best. And he stands tall, impenetrable. Well, they can break here. Now, try to spin that positively. I certainly can't. Aims beyond the defence. Kuching City still chasing a one-goal deficit here. Oh, well played, well played. That's a sharp pass. Tries a shot! Oh, he's hit the bar! And claimed it back swiftly. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, there'll be no accusations of a lack of effort. They're giving as good as they get when it comes to chances.
He's beaten the last real chance! Oh, no shortage of confidence there.
Oh, that's a great chance from a really swashbuckling run. His manager will be wanting more of that.
He's there to hit it! Kuching City are looking to go forward now. Looking to play him in. That is good strength. Well, we've seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
This is a really front-footed approach.
You know, the interest value in this game might just take off from here.
But that has not gone well. Knocks it in. Chance, surely! And he couldn't finish.
He did well there, held his run enough to ensure he didn't stray offside.
Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Now, what about a counter-attack? Looking for the run. Incoming delivery.
Kuala Lumpur City clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Substitution in
So
progress.
time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
That has ended up in no man's land. Looking for options for movement. This might spell danger. Can he finish? Well taken goal. Do not write them off. Back they come. So smooth. A signature finish.
Well, you've always got to have players that are willing to make the runs, and when you keep plugging away, that will happen.
Kuala Lumpur City making further changes here and in quick succession.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
So they have it all to do again.
Well, needless to say, Peter, they're eager to get going, but you have to wonder how much these boys have left in the tank.
A game with so much to recommend it. Fabulous call. Goes for a shot! And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. This is a promising build-up. Stood up well to him there.
I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again. They're avoiding the blatantly obvious by not getting the ball into the opposition box. That's where it has to be.
Space for him to turn and look. Searching pass he's played there. Oh, super find. Oh, that's ambitious.
Has been indicated.
And no one is overly concerned about that. Two minutes to be added on. They'll have one final crack at it. He's found and a shot! And I think we're done. Yes, we are done. Well, nothing to separate the sides in the end. Not for the want of desire, drive or determination. No complaints. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always likely to be on the card. So overall, I don't think anyone will be complaining too much about what they've got.